The top stories tonight in Y News. A lawmaker will launch an investigation into the alleged anti-vaccine campaign of the United States to undermine China at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The House of Representatives has been urged to investigate the reported abuse of the special visa programs amid the influx of Chinese nationals in the country.
The camp of suspended Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Go appeals Malacañang to emphasize her innocence in the controversies she is facing and to request a fair investigation.
And we will discover why Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dissolved the war cabinet following the resignation of former General Benny Gantz.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of June, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Bianca Quijano.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Marvi Delphine.
First in the news. A lawmaker will launch an investigation into the alleged anti-vaccine campaign of the United States to undermine China at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Senator Amy Marcos, who chairs the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, says there is a need to get to the bottom of the issue, citing the vaccine hesitancy of Filipinos during the pandemic. She calls on the Department of Health, or DOH, to cooperate with the Senate probe. Expected to be invited are former health and security officials. The Senate hearing will be conducted on June 24, 2024. An investigative report published by Reuters alleged that the U.S. military ran a secret campaign to discredit China's vaccine Sinovac with the Filipino public as one of its targets.
Ang problema, yung buhay naman ng Pilipino ang linustay dahil hindi gusto magpabaksin sa Sinovac. Pambira naman. Kaya aalamin natin sa lalong madaling panahon, sana makakuha tayo ng testigo dahil napakahirap nga hanapin itong mga ebidensyang to.
The House of Representatives has been urged to investigate the reported abuse of the special visa programs amid the influx of Chinese nationals in the country, particularly the grant of special resident retirees visas and special investors resident visa. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The ACT-CIS party list filed House Resolution number 1771 to investigate the process of granting the Special Resident Retirees Visa, Special Investors Resident Visa, as well as the reported late registration of birth. These are possible avenues behind the influx of Chinese nationals in the Philippines. The pending investigation is directed by House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Ang daming mga illegal na mga Chinese nationals dito na I think we really start to look siguro dito sa ating bakuran na ngayon para kung kailangan linisin. Kung kailangan ipauwiin natin yung iba, pauwiin na natin yung iba kasi nagkakaproblema.
Based on reports, thousands of Chinese retirees have allegedly been allowed to permanently reside in the country. Furthermore, the lawmaker expressed concern over claims that the Philippine Retirement Authority has been accepting retirees as young as 35 years old since 1991. This age limit was only raised to 50 years old in April 2021.
Tapos retired na at age 35. Saan ka naman nakikita ng gano'n na retired at age 35? So we really have to look into this.
The House of Representatives aims to invite the Philippine Retirement Authority, Board of Investments, Civil Registrar, and the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA in its investigation concerning special visas and late birth registration. These agencies have not yet responded to the proposed investigation by the House. Several lawmakers have expressed concerns over the increasing number of Chinese nationals in the Philippines. This issue comes amid the country's pressing challenges with China's aggression in the disputed territories in the West Philippine Sea. Aside from socio-economic effects, national security and public order concerns, various crimes have been linked to the influx of Chinese nationals. This include illegal activities uncovered in connection with the Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGOs, such as human trafficking, fraud, kidnapping, illegal detention, prostitution, and others. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The extradition hearing for former Negros Oriental Congressman Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr. in Timor-Leste has concluded. According to the Department of Justice, the court has given both parties 5 days to submit their respective memorandums or position papers outlining their arguments and positions. Following this, the Timor-Leste Court of Appeals will have an additional 5 days to issue a decision. A ruling is expected either by the end of this week or early next week. The DOH remains confident that the outcome will be favorable, especially since their witnesses effectively counter the arguments presented by Teves's camp. On the other hand, Teves's legal team is also hopeful for a favorable decision from the Timor-Leste government. Teves's lawyer, attorney Ferdinand Topacio, shared that they have given their best shot and hope that the East Timor court would follow what is in the constitution without regard to the diplomatic pressure that the Philippines government has been exerting. Topacio has stated that the prosecution must submit their memorandum on June 19, while the defense's deadline is June 24. He is also assisting Timor-Leste lawyers on points of Philippine law.
The United States White House confirms death of the missing Filipino seafarer in the MV Tudor that was attacked by Houthi rebels in Red Sea on June 12. U.S. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby considers the attack as an act of terrorism, especially with the death of the Filipino crew, emphasizing it has nothing to do with the conflicts in Gaza.
Now, a few days ago, the Houthis attacked the Liberian-flagged, Greek-owned and operated bulk cargo carrier merchant vessel Tudor, killing a crew member who hailed from the Philippines.
The Department of Migrant Workers, however, has yet to confirm if the missing seafarer is indeed already dead or still alive. In an official statement today, June 18, the DMW says a search operation shall be undertaken as soon as the ship is taken to a safe port, while the agency remains hopeful and are in touch with the family of the seafarer. The Department of Foreign Affairs has not confirmed as well the statement of the White House and also hopes that the Filipino crew is still alive.
And for the news abroad. This year, according to North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO, Secretary General Hans Stoltenberg, over 20 of their members are to meet the organization's target, dedicating a minimum of 2% GDP to defense. The secretary noted the race in military spending of the allies since Russia's siege of Crimea in 2014, which only 3 NATO members, the United States, Greece, and Britain, at the time met their goals, and the organization only having 28 members, now at 32. The eastern flank of NATO has been strengthened by U.S. President Joe Biden, emphasizing their goal to defend each NATO territory after being previously criticized by then-President Donald Trump for relying on the United States. Meanwhile, amongst Canada and Europe, allies are fortifying their defense by increasing spending up to 18%, the biggest in decades, with ongoing preparations currently happening as the NATO summit approaches.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dissolves the war cabinet following the resignation of former General Benny Gantz. James Hilario will tell us why.
On Monday, June 17, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has taken the widely anticipated move of dissolving the six-member war cabinet following the departure of former General Benny Gantz. Prime Minister Netanyahu is now expected to hold talks over the Gaza war with small groups of ministers, including Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermir and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The announcement of the move came during the visit of United States Special Envoy Amos Hochstein to Jerusalem. The visit's goal was to defuse the situation on Lebanon's disputed border, where Israel said tensions with the Iran-backed Hezbollah militia were putting the region close to a more serious conflict. Meanwhile, Netanyahu faced demands from the nationalist religious partners in his coalition for the inclusion in the war cabinet of Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir. This move would have heightened tensions with international allies, especially the United States. James Hilario, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, has confirmed that a soldier was seriously injured during the recent rotational and resupply mission at BRP Sierra Madre yesterday. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines has condemned China's actions, with China admitting they boarded, inspected, and drove away Philippine supply vessels. An analyst described China's recent move against the Philippines as an unlawful use of force. Ryan Lacandala details why.
A Philippine Navy personnel sustained serious injuries after a Chinese vessel deliberately rammed their vessels, according to Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP. The injured Navy personnel has been safely evacuated and given appropriate medical attention. United States Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson condemned China's action in the latest rotational and resupply mission of the Philippines to the BRP Sierra Madre at Ayungin Shoal. According to Ambassador Carlson's post on social media X, due to the dangerous maneuver executed by Chinese vessels, a Filipino soldier was injured. China allegedly obstructed the legitimate delivery of food, water, and supplies to the soldier on the BRP Sierra Madre. According to a report from China Daily, a state-owned media of China, they admitted to driving away Philippine naval vessels on Monday, stopping, inspecting, and moving them. China claims their actions were legal and legitimate. From an international studies expert from De La Salle University, Professor Renato De Castro, it is clear that China's actions constitute an unlawful use of force.
This is a case of unlawful use of force. Well, it's really an escalation on the part of the Chinese. Based on sa mga statements na nababasa ko, like for example, there was attempt for boarding, there was of course effort to tow the vessel, and of course the term that I encountered, which I got from another source, the mission was a failure because the Chinese really put all its efforts to deny the AFP from, of course, extending humanitarian assistance to our forces on board the Ayungin Shoal.
He said, this is reportedly the most serious action China has taken against Filipino soldiers.
It's really the height of their escalation, use of their gray zone operation. It's really the darkest shade of Chinese gray zone operation. The fact that they have surrounded the resupply mission, they use everything, ramming, harassment, towing, and of course you have the participation, supposedly according to the source, the active participation of the People's Liberation Army's Navy.
It is possible that if they did this to military personnel, they could also do it to the BRP Sierra Madre, a commissioned vessel of Philippine Navy. This could potentially invoke the Mutual Defense Treaty between the Philippines and the United States. but it could escalate more turmoil.
We can now, that will lead to the invocation of the Mutual Defense Treaty.
According to De Castro, it's possible that up to now, the AFP and DND have not released details because they are being cautious in their actions.
Probably it's being discussed up there, not anymore at the level of the DND AFP. Probably it's already being discussed in Malacañang.
Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Crime rate in Davao City drops for the month of January until May 2024. Meanwhile, Police Brigadier General Nicolas Torre III, the new Director of Police Regional Office 10, has announced that they will implement the 3-minute response time in the city as part of crime prevention and solution strategies. Lalaine Moreno will tell us why.
From January to May 2024, the crime rate in Davao City dropped by almost 4% compared to the same period in 2023. A total of 1,759 cases were recorded this year, which is 72 cases fewer than last year's 1,831 cases. This includes robbery, murder, and rape. The total number of index crimes, including murder, homicide, physical injury, rape, robbery, theft, and carnapping, has also decreased. According to the Davao City Police Office, the city is still one of the safest cities in Asia. Meanwhile, Police Brigadier General Nicolas D. Torre III, the new Director of Police Regional Office 11, visited the Davao City Police Office last Monday, June 17, to implement the 3-minute response time of the Philippine National Police. The 3-minute response time was conceptualized by General Torre when he was the commander of the Quezon City Police District. According to Torre, he plans to implement this not only in Davao City, but across the entire Davao region.
Let's see if we can achieve na pag kayo ay nagdial ng emergency hotline number namin, we can be there beside you within 3 minutes or maybe in reasonable time, 5 minutes maybe or less.
The 3-minute response time will become the standard for police personnel as part of crime prevention and solution strategies. This will expedite the response of the PNP, especially during crime incidents. The Davao City PNP is currently conducting an inventory of their logistics. Field personnel will also undergo training for this.
Ina-assist yung per station natin kung ilan yung mobile patrol cars, and then yung mga radios, kung sino yung may mga body-worn cameras. So, may tayo ma'am na i-study yung regional director natin kung makuha ba na isang station or ng Davao City Police Office itong 3 minutes response time.
To enhance the quality of PNP service, the duty hours of personnel will now be shortened to 8 hours daily to give them adequate rest. The PNP calls on the public to report any crimes they encounter or if they need police assistance. Lalaine Moreno, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Metro Manila Council has approved a resolution allowing local governments within the National Capital Region to pass their own ordinances on managing the tangled mess of spaghetti wires. According to the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, reports indicate that numerous unauthorized cables from power and telecommunications companies are still being illegally installed, contributing to the proliferation of these unsightly and hazardous wires. JP Nunez details why.
At the soonest possible time, the local government units in Metro Manila will enact their own local ordinances to address concerns on spaghetti wires or the dangling electric cables and telecommunication cables. Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA Acting Chairman Attorney Don Artes states that spaghetti wires is becoming serious concern as electric posts are falling down. It causes disruption of service to consumers and heavy traffic on roads. With the ordinances, the LGUs will impose penalties and regulations on installing cables.
Per poste, bibigyan lang po ng specific number depende po sa carrying capacity ng poste, say hanggang 10 wires lang. Para po rin sa monitoring ng LGUs, madali po na i-monitor na, uy, lagpas na ng 10 yung wire na nakasabi. Meaning may violation na.
Yung mga hindi na po kinakailangan ng mga wires ay dapat tanggalin na. Hindi po yan ganun kadali kasi nga ang iba talagang buhol-buhol na at nag-compound na yan over the years. So they have to really trace alin ba rito ang gumagana pa at hindi. Dahil nga minsan nangyayari raw po ang nagugupit nila ay active or live na mga wires.
Among the issues need to be addressed are the unauthorized installation of cables.
Minsan po maraming mga guerrilla installation na pagkagising nila sa susunod na araw, nandun na yung mga wires na hindi na pinapaalam sa kanila. So ito nga po dapat yung bantayan ng LGUs because kung makita natin na mayroong mga telco na nagkabit na walang permit, ay pwedeng i-penalize yan.
Meanwhile, among other suggestions to address the spaghetti wires is the underground installation of cables, which said to be the same in Davao City. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Starting today, June 18, the State Weather Bureau Pag-asa has ceased the daily release of heat index data. Pag-asa stated that this decision was made due to the ongoing decrease in the number of places experiences heat indices at the danger level. The numerous thunderstorms and rain showers occurring across the country and the end of the El Niño phenomenon. During this period, it is crucial to focus on providing accurate and timely information related to hazards and potential impacts associated with the rainy season. The daily heat index reports, which come from Pag-asa's synoptic stations, will resume on March 1st, 2025, in time for the dry season in the country.
And in other global news, an ongoing clash is gripping Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region as Ukraine's top commander anticipated further Russian advances pending the delivery of advanced Western military aid. Ann Gonzalez tells us why.
A Russian official reported on Monday, June 17, that intense fighting gripped parts of Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region, with Ukraine's military deploying fierce counterattacks and equipment to the contested area. Ukraine's top commander Alexander Syrsky predicted Russians would try to press forward, knowing that Western military aid is underway. First, as clashes were occurring in Vovchansk and near Lipsy, Russian-appointed Governor Vitaly Ganchev said. About a dozen villages have been seized since Russian forces have entered into parts of Kharkiv region last month. Over the past week, Ukrainian officials reported that they have firmly controlled the area where Moscow has been trying to advance. Ukraine's military general staff stated that the forces had repelled 10 Russian strikes near Vovchansk and Lipsy as Moscow were building intensity and expanding the geography of military activity in the region. Russian forces seized much of the Kharkiv region in the early weeks of invasion in 2022, but Ukraine has recaptured large swaths of their territory later that year. Since then, Ukrainian officials stated that months of Russian attacks have eased in the region due to the arrival of new weaponry. Now, Syrsky predicted that Russians would take the chance again to step forward in the contested region, while the Ukraine forces are waiting for the Western equipment such as the United States-made F-16 fighter jets that are pending arrival. Ann Gonzalez, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Campaigning for France's snap parliamentary election has started. Different polls have been indicating that the far-right National Rally is poised to win. Early Briones will tell us why.
Campaigning for France's snap parliamentary election began on Monday, June 17, 2 weeks before the first round of voting on June 30, followed by a second round 7 days later. This unexpected election call came after Marine Le Pen's far-right national rally achieved a decisive victory over President Emmanuel Macron's party in the European Parliament elections. Macron called for the snap elections 3 years early, shaking up the country's politics, leading in heavy selling of French bonds and stocks. According to polls, the far-right national rally is poised to win with 33% of the vote, followed by a new left-wing alliance with 28%. While President Emmanuel Macron's ruling centrist is expected to come in third with only 18% of the vote. According to former President Nicolas Sarkozy, the risk that Macron took for himself and the nation could throw France into chaos. Moreover, Macron's allies warned that a win for either the far-right national rally or the left could trigger a financial crisis. Many in France are puzzled by Macron's decision to call an election just weeks before the country hosts the Olympics, risking the far-right national rally, leading the government with a 28-year-old Jordan Bardella becoming prime minister. Meanwhile, the far-right national rally, having already announced plans to reduce the energy tax and decrease the retirement age, is scheduled to unveil its economic program in the upcoming days. Early Briones, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The United Kingdom's main stock market retook its top position as the largest and most valuable European stock market. From London, United Kingdom, here's Joanna Ochoa to tell us the details live. Good evening, Joanna.
The kingdom's main stock market has become the most valuable in Europe after almost 2 years when it was overtaken by France. The companies listed on the London Stock Exchange Market, or LSE, has a total value of $2.18 trillion. On the other hand, the French stock market slumped due to uncertainty around its election and therefore negatively affected its financial markets, as it is unknown where the money for the government's pledge of onshore spending would come from. This would increase the interest rate of the investors' loan to the government, which would damage the value of listed companies, as investors would make more money when lending to the government than investing in the company's shares. Meanwhile, many big firms, including those based in the UK, are listing on the US stock market rather than the UK, which further encourages more companies to list there as the value of American stocks rise. However, British stocks are cheaper than American stocks in relative to their earnings. United States exchanges are very dependent on highly valued tech stocks like Google, Apple, and Amazon, which wouldn't be sustainable in the long term. Marvi?
Thank you, Joanna Ochoa, reporting live from London, United Kingdom. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
The camp of suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Go went straight to Malacañang to explain the controversies she is facing. She has a request for Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, who is the chairman of the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOCC. Nel Baribohok reports.
Are you asking for a fair investigation? Can you confirm that?
Yes, in summary, that is our request.
Fair investigation. This is what suspended Bamban Mayor Alice Go requested in her letter to Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, who chairs the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOC. Around 11 o'clock this morning, June 18, the legal counsel of suspended Mayor Alice Go arrived at Malacañang. The mayor wrote to PAOC Chairman and Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin to emphasize her innocence in the controversies she is facing and to request a fair investigation.
It's simply a letter addressed to the Executive Secretary as the chairman of the PAOCC, just expressing the mayor's intention that she is one with the commission to uncover the truth and for justice to prevail.
Mayor Guo insists that the allegations against her regarding her supposed involvement in money laundering, human trafficking, kidnapping, and other crimes related to Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO operations in Bamban are baseless. She said that Baofu Land Development was established in accordance with Philippine laws and there is no truth to the claims that it was founded for the purposes of money laundering and setting up POGO operations. The suspended mayor emphasized that she completely and legally cut ties with the company before she was elected mayor of Bamban. In the end, Guo requested the PAOK to conduct a thorough and impartial investigation into the allegations against her. She expressed confidence that a meticulous review of the facts and information would prove her innocence regarding all the accusations. The mayor is also ready to cooperate with any investigative process. It is expected this week the PAOK will file criminal complaints with the Department of Justice against the suspended mayor and other individuals. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Men's Volleyball Nations League, or VNL 2024, has officially returned to the Philippines for the third time. Lina Villamor Camara will tell us why.
Men's Volleyball Nations League, or VNL 2024, returns to the country. This is the third time that the Philippines will be the host country. And this year, the men's team of Japan, Brazil, USA, Canada, Netherlands, Germany, France, and Iran will showcase their talents here. The Filipino fans, they're all excited because volleyball is one of the most famous sports in the country.
Men's VNL started in 2018 in Lille, France, where Russia became champion against host country France. It was stopped at the height of the pandemic and resumed again in the last part of the year 2022, where the country was also one of its hosts. This year, aside from the Philippines, VNL tournament are making stops across Asia that includes playing venues in Japan, Thailand, and Hong Kong. Now is the third week of the competition before the quarterfinals and finals round that will be held in Poland from June 27 to June 30, where only 8 countries will face off. One of the new rules of VNL includes raising a green card to players who admit to their block or net touch errors to eliminate the so-called challenges in the game. And the team with the highest green card will earn $30,000 as a prize for being fair in the game. Meanwhile, the team winning the men's VNL will take home $1 million this year, $500,000 for silver place, $300,000 for bronze, $180 for fourth place, $130 for fifth placer, $85 for sixth place, $65 and $40 for the 7 and 8 finishers, with a total of $2.3 million. Prize money will also be given to the MVP title holder, best setter, best opposite, and 2 selected best outside hitter of the year. On the first game, Netherlands took over Brazil. First set was won by Brazil with many service aces as they were led by Flavio and Lucas with 5 and 4 points respectively. Although Netherlands were able to attack more and gave more blocks, it was Brazil who was able to limit errors on the first set alone. Score was 26-24. Come second set, Brazil dominated once again in aces, giving 7 as opposed to 3 by the Netherlands, 25-23. Third set, Nemir of Netherlands converted more attack points and coverage was better for the Dutch. It went to extended sets 29-31 as Brazil was not able to anticipate the cross-court attacks given by Netherlands. Somehow, Brazil played with much more sense of urgency and focus, giving them the big win at 25-20.
Think about the concentration. We lost the first set because of the details. So in the end, we focused on our match and we did it. Happy, it was our goal to go to Poland, so let's keep working.
Rina Villamor Camara, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International.
I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 22, it says, "He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him." And those are the reasons behind the news June 18, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Perth, Australia.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Bianca Quijano, live from Edmonton, Canada. We serve the people, we give glory to God.